Hi guys, so today I wanted to talk about the book that we have been waiting for a really long time now, and it finally came out last week, and obviously that book is Allegiant by Veronica Roth. This is not going to be a book review but a book talk or a book discussion, so there are going to be a lot of spoilers, and so I kind of have to ask all of you that haven't read it yet to please leave because you really don't want this to be spoiled. The entire book is going to feel differently if you read it with knowing the ending first, and so I don't want to compromise that for anyone, and so please, first of all, don't watch this video, and also don't go on Twitter. There's too many spoilers on Twitter. I actually actively banned myself from browsing Twitter while reading or before reading, like from the time it came out until I finished it, because I just didn't want to, like, I noticed some people were like, oh my god, the Allegiant ending is so, oh my god, I was like, no, don't tell me. So I think I want to start off with discussing just the most important thing that happens in this book, and that is Triss's death. I haven't actually seen anyone else react to this yet because I always film these kinds of videos immediately after I read the book because I want to have my thoughts fresh in my head and also don't want anybody else's opinion influencing me, and so I don't know how other people reacted to it, but I can imagine that most of them were pretty devastated. It's not the kind of thing you expect from a YA book. The heroine does never die. That's like the ultimate truth, and this book didn't stick to that rule. Apparently, this book was like, nope. Veronica Roth was like, no, we're not gonna follow their expectations. We're gonna kill her off. And I honestly have to say, as sad as I was to see Triss go, I think it was the right decision. I think this book needed some sort of an ending that wasn't all happy and fluttery and everything's perfect. It wasn't the sort of story that needed a happy ending, especially with the kind of person that Triss is. It just wouldn't have been right. It just wouldn't have fit with her character if she really had let Caleb go, kill himself, or die for her, because that's just not who she is. And it would have been sort of forced. It would have been a sort of forced happy ending because it wouldn't have been Triss that we would see being happy. You know, it wouldn't have fit with her character, with the type of person that she was. And I think this sacrifice is like the ultimate thing that sort of describes her character, and that shows you the kind of person she has become over the course of 3 books, where she started out thinking that she was not good enough for abnegation, that she was not selfless enough to fit in with those people, and that she was not good enough compared to her brother, who seemed to be this really selfless person, and who the selflessness came really easy to. And the end just shows that like the kind of person both of them have become over the course of the 3 books. That, you know, Triss is the more selfless one, and Caleb is selfish. And I think that's a really interesting development, and for me, character development in a book is always the most important factor. If that goes well, then I can overlook a lot of flaws, and I think the character development of the main cast in this story was amazing, incredible, and unparalleled, I think. Especially the character development of For and Triss and their relationship, because I think it was it was probably one of the best relationships I have ever read about, because it seemed so real. It wasn't all lovey-dovey stuff the entire time, and it wasn't just petty jealousy that would, you know, put a rift between them for like 5 minutes and then that'd be fine again. Especially in Insurgent, we get so much of this conflict between them, and of, you know, we see how different they are as people and how they kind of always rub against each other and how their differences don't always quite work out. And we get to see how mistrust and dishonesty can really just break a relationship apart, no matter how much these two people love each other. In most YA books, that mythical thing, love, is kind of held above everybody's head. It's like, this is the ultimate thing that needs to be true for 2 people to be able to kind of work alongside of each other and to fit like with each other, you know, to work well with each other. And it's just not all that's necessary for a prosperous and for a happy relationship for a stable relationship to work. And that was really, really something that we got to know, especially also in Allegiant, because they've put this dishonesty behind them, but there's still stuff, you know, that like they have to work out and they have to fight over it, but at the same time, they're still not willing to give up on their relationship. They're both not perfect. They're both not flawless human beings, and they are accepting that of each other and of themselves. And I think that's what really makes the best relationships. And I think that's essentially what made me fall in love with Tris and For as a couple. Not as much all the kind of romantic stuff and like, oh, they're so cute together, but more like this really like real part to the relationship. I'm like, I can see this working. I can see this being something that's happening in our world as well, you know? I can see this being something just relatable. I was pretty sad. I was really sad when Tris died, because I think For has, or Tobias, I hate his name Tobias, so I keep saying For, but I think For has been through so much in his life, and he's had to suffer so much. I mean, most of the people in this story, in this world, had to suffer a lot, but for some reason I've always felt really, really, really for and with Tobias. So for him to even lose Tris, it's just like this major thing, and so we see that 2.5 years later he's still not completely over it. This is the kind of love that just kind of sticks with you, I think, forever, and that just can't be replaced even if you find someone else. I think it's also really tragic in the sense that whoever it is that he finds, like, I don't know, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, whoever that person is, they will know about Tris. They will know about their love, you know? They will know about how important that was to Tobias. And think kind of contending with someone who's dead and who's ingrained in a person's memory with so much love and devotion, and like sort of trying to replace them but not really, and having that same relationship with them that they had with the person that passed away. I think that's impossible, and I think it just creates so much difficulty. I feel like Tris and For were supposed to end up with each other. I can't say that for every couple I encounter in YA, because I think most of them are really just superficial and kind of shallow loves, and actually crushes that they kind of think is love, and what I would never consider love from an outsider's perspective. But with those two, you really can tell how much they value and respect each other, and how much they're willing to put on the line for each other and for their relationship to work. How they're just willing to put the other person before them in most situations, if not all. And I think really they were supposed to be with each other, you know, and the fact that they aren't is just heartbreaking. I think the way the story ended was the right mix between a kind of happy ending-ish, because they have kind of emancipated themselves from this outer control, and they're their own city now, and they can make their own rules. And I think that is definitely a good thing, because you don't want a struggle that lasts 3 books to end in nothing. I think that makes no sense, and it also is very, very depressing to think that they're really working. That people have died for this cause and nothing has come of it. I think that would have been a terrible ending. The fact that so many people have died, and that even Tris has died, she's given her life for this cause, I think that is just a reminder that these people are mortal, you know, that these people are vulnerable, and that they have sacrificed so much for this cause, and that even her status as protagonist of the story is not keeping Tris safe from the implications and the repercussions of this war, or this conflict, this major conflict that has taken so many lives. I think if Tris had survived, we wouldn't really be left with the same impression, with the same impact that this book has left on me now, because there are so many casualties in this war, and Tris is one of the people that we care the most about, and obviously that's going to leave us with the most heartbreak. Her death is what impacted us more than any of the others, I'm sure. I think Veronica Roth is just trying to say that, you know, war and conflict and just violence never ends well, and there are always casualties, and I think it's just a way to really make us care all the more about the story and about all the other people as well that have died, not only Triss, because now we kind of feel the sentiments really strongly, like no. Now we can just sympathize so much more with all the other characters that have lost loved ones, and I think that just was necessary for us to grasp the entirety of what has happened in this world and to these people. One thing that has kind of disturbed me, I want to say, or kind of irritated me in the story was that this idea of the memory erasing serum, that would just be the ultimate, like, the ultimate way out of any situation, the ultimate, like, solution, basically, and that even the protagonist thought that was like the solution. Now obviously we could start a really long and extensive debate over nature and nurture and what really makes us the people that we are, but I just think that simply taking a person's memories away does not change who they are. Like, for example, with Peter, I don't think that he's not evil anymore just because he forgot how many people he killed and just how many people he harmed and hurt. I think he's still the same person, he just doesn't remember it, and I think that doesn't change a thing. Just because you choose to forget the awful things that you did and the people you hurt because you can't bear the guilt and you're too afraid of facing it and you're too afraid of failing at becoming a better person, doesn't mean that you are a better person. It just means you're a coward, in my opinion. If we make mistakes and we do things that are wrong and hurtful and that harm others, part of kind of growing from that and becoming a better person from that is not only realizing that we did something wrong, but it's also striving to become a better person. And just by taking the easy way out and forgetting everything you've done, you're not really changing your personality. You're not doing anything to become a better person. You're just simply forgetting that you ever were a bad person, but you still kind of are, I think. But again, I can't say why Peter is the way he was. Maybe he has experienced things in his life, in his childhood maybe, that have made him the way that he is, and now that he's forgotten them, he can be someone else, but it's still not really a fresh start. Because yes, he doesn't remember, but everybody else does. Everybody else knows what he did. I just don't think it's realistic that he gets to be integrated in society again, that he gets to be looked at as a different person simply because he doesn't remember how awful he was just a year ago, or just a week ago even. I don't know, I think it's also really disrespectful to the people that he hurt, because it just sort of dismisses it as something that, it's just a memory, you know, of the person who did it, and not as something tragic and horrible that happened. And I don't know, I don't agree with it, and I was not happy with the outcome of that scenario. Just overall, my impression of this book was rather positive. Again, I liked the outcome, sort of. Yes, this book is not as good as Insurgent and Divergent. I think Divergent is like way better than both of the sequels, but that's just third book curse. I think hardly any series can really keep up the quality, and I'm not gonna hold it against them, because I think that was really hard, because you need to change things and people are not gonna agree with that, and if you don't change them, then they're getting bored, so you can't really make it right for anybody. Let me know what you thought about it if you've read it already, which I hope you have, because otherwise what are you doing here? So yeah, let me know what your thoughts were, if you agreed with me or if you didn't, and leave your comments down below. I'm gonna see you guys soon. Have a nice week. Bye!